Now, this is Miami's defensive coordinator. When he was asked if halftime adjustments are a real thing or just something that people say, something every defensive coordinator needs to hear is said by Miami's D coordinator. Go ahead and roll that clip, Jake.
This is what I found. I've found out that through my years, this is just my experience, not anybody else's, but you look at film and you watch it and you have a plan of how you're going to stop it. And when you come out to play against them, they're not going to do that. They're going to have something else. So you have to be able to fix the problems before halftime. If you fix the problems before halftime, they'll probably go back to the things you saw on film. If you haven't stopped the problems, then your job as a coordinator is to fix the problems at half because they're coming back to it. Once you fix the problem, they'll go back to what you've seen on film. And to me, that's where you make your money as a coordinator. You don't make it on the weekends. You have to be able to game plan, but you also have to be able to adjust in game and know exactly what to go to by what they're doing. And a lot of times that comes from experience of just seeing it. And to tell you the truth, my high school experience has probably helped me more than any of my college experience because you start off defending option football, wing tee, empty. You see everything in high school. Everybody copycats, and you'll see one offense one week and you never see that offense again. So that's kind of where you cut your teeth, as a coach. I found it. That's my track anyway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Miami defensive coordinator Lance Guidry. They're a top 10 team. My preseason pick to go 11-1, win the ACC, and get a top 4 bid in the college football playoff. Looks relatively good so far. A lot of ball left to play. But there's a lot of truth in that statement because we spend all this time watching film and preparing for our opponent. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to start the game in something different. They're not stupid. They're over there game planning you too. Okay, every week we put in something new on defense. Every week the offense puts in something new. It's based on one of two things. Either you want to change up what you've been showing your opponents, or you've seen something in your opponent that you want to try to exploit by doing something new to them, or a combination of both. I'll never forget my sophomore year. We went and played at Oklahoma. They were number 3 in the country. And look at my redshirt freshman year. I can't remember. I played so many games. I played football for over 20 years. I'm pretty sure I have CTE, and I can't believe I can do a coherent sentence. It was one of the years that we went to Norman. There was only one year. I believe it was my sophomore year. I'm pretty sure now that I think about it. But our defensive coordinator said Oklahoma is not only going to put in new things. They're not only going to put in some new plays. They have a whole new formation each and every single game with a whole set of 15 plays out of that new formation. So we basically prepared for what we had seen and what we thought we were going to see, and a formation that we weren't sure what it was going to be until the first few plays of the game. So he is 100% correct, Coach Guidry, in the fact that they're going to throw something new at you. And if you don't stop it, they're going to keep coming back to it. If it ain't broke, I always say don't break it. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In my world, if it ain't broke, don't go breaking the thing. Now, if you stop it at halftime, they're going to come out and they're going to go back to what they were doing before you played them. But going into halftime, if you ain't stopped it, they're going to keep doing it until you stop. My point is, in-game adjustments, in-season adjustments, off-season adjustments are a lot easier because you have months to do them. In season, you have more time, but as you can imagine, football coaches ain't got a lot of extra time during the season. In-game adjustments are the most challenging because it's live, it's going fast, and for obvious reasons. Here's what I'm getting at. The biggest thing the black shirts need to do, to me, it's 2 parts. Number one, they need to look at themselves, and they need to say, we're not being physical enough up front. We're not tackling well enough. And we can't be leaving guys wide open in man coverage. Man coverage can be a little bit confusing. There's a reason offenses shift and motion and do all this BS crap before the snap. It's to try to confuse you, especially if you're in man coverage. Are you running with the receiver? Are you passing it off? Does everybody pass off the man correctly to their next new man? Bam, the ball snapped. Is it a run? Is it a pass? Is it a play action pass? Crap, this guy's really fast or this guy's really big. It's what offenses try to do. They try to put you in a predicament. It's why they're getting paid the big bucks over there as well. Clearly, Big Ten offenses have had an offseason to watch what the 3-3-5 defense is. And Tony White's a good football coach. That has not changed. To be clear, has not changed. They have adjusted to us. Now it's Tony White and his staff's opportunity to adjust to them in season and in the middle of games if need be. And the need will be there throughout games, as I'm sure you're all aware of. So what I'm getting at is the black shirts need to look at themselves and look in the mirror and be brutally honest. What are we not doing well? We're not being physical enough up front. We're not tackling well. And we're not disciplining the back end because we're leaving guys running wide open in man-to-man defense. Address those things first. And then on game day versus Purdue, versus Rutgers, Indiana, Ohio State, and you see what they're doing. And you got to be able to adjust in the middle of the game because they've clearly come with a new, updated, changed, and apparently improved game plan for the 3-3-5 defense. So the question is, how much better can we be at the things that we haven't done great just yet? And to be clear, this is still a pretty good defense, but expectations come with responsibility. They were a very good defense last year. 9 returning starters, 7 starting seniors, and every single starter on that team is an upperclassman, junior or senior. The expectation is that you will be equivalent to and or probably much better than you were a year ago because you have so many people coming back, starting with the defensive line. The defensive line was such a question mark last year. Ty Robinson was the only guy with any real experience. Nobody else had any. And then the defensive line turned out to probably be the strength of the whole team. Well, their whole 2 deep came back. So the assumption is you're going to be equivalent to and or greater than the assumption is you're going to be better than you were last year. And everyone's coming back. So am I saying that they're playing horribly? No. Based on our expectations, are they meeting them? No. They need to address what they're not doing well. They need to embrace the expectations and the responsibilities as an honor because that's what it is. Expectations with responsibilities go hand in hand, and it's an honor, and they need to get better at the 3 areas I've mentioned. Being more physical up front, tackling as an overall whole, communicating and being disciplined in the back end. Tony White, a 2 times Broyles Award nominee. That's Assistant Coach of the Year in America, ladies and gentlemen. He's a good coach. It's time for him to make adjustments to what other teams are doing to us. And I look forward to seeing what he can do and what he come up with. Now, the question is, how long does it take for him to make successful adjustments? It took opposing Big Ten offenses an entire offseason. Sometimes you can do them in the middle of a game. Sometimes you can do them at halftime. Sometimes it takes during the season and a couple of weeks to figure it out. I 100% believe Tony White's going to make good adjustments. The question is, will it be by Saturday? Will it be during Saturday? Will it take 2 to 3 weeks? I really hope it doesn't go into the offseason, and I'd be surprised if it does. But those are the biggest things the black shirts need to address, need to improve on, and need to work on, in my humble opinion.